Hello once more and welcome to another episode of Economics. And as you can see from the board, we are going to a new topic, that is the demand and supply equilibrium. All right, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy this topic as much as you did the last. Do not forget that these tutorials, these videos, these episodes are brought to you by the one and only O3 Schools JAMB CBT practice application. If you have made your decision that you want to pass your JAMB at once and never to write it again, download the application from Play Store immediately and start practicing your way to success. Okay, we'll talk about the app in a moment, but please let's go to the JAMB CBT practice app by O3 Schools, and then let us look for a past question as it relates to demand and supply equilibrium. This is an introductory class. Okay, so this is a 2011 question number 10. 2011 number 10, it says, if demand increases without a change in supply, equilibrium price and quantity will, okay? 2011 number 10, it says, if demand increases without a change in supply, equilibrium price and quantity will, A says remain unchanged, B says we shift inward, C says fall, D says it will rise. Okay, so we'll answer this question and many more as it relates to this at the end of the class and not before, because at O3 Schools, we believe in giving you value first. Let us teach you, and when we have taught you, answering question will be the least of your problem. Your confidence will be built. All right, so please ensure you download the O3 School JAMB app, as it will aid you to pass your exam at once. It has all the past questions that you need for all your subjects, okay, under the practice for UTME. Okay, also there are what is a classroom feature with JAMB syllabus and with lecture notes structured according to the JAMB syllabus. And then we also have the question search feature, just like the way we search for that question just now. You can search for question on a particular topic, and the question that JAMB has set under that topic will come out for you to answer. What's more is that there's a mock challenge. There's a UTME challenge on the app every Saturday for all students that are writing JAMB. Okay, you can invite your friends to participate in the challenge also. Okay, you compete with your mates, win a lot of prizes every Saturday, as well as familiarize yourself with JAMB past question, JAMB likely exam question. Okay, and of course, you see your result released just like normal JAMB every Saturday. Thereby, you'll be able to gauge your preparation. All right, and then of course, do not forget to activate the application once you have downloaded it. Activation fee is less than the price of rice and chicken in a good restaurant right now. All right, do not be stingy. This is your future. Prepare for it, make the sacrifice, and start studying immediately. So let's look at demand and supply equilibrium. In fact, why do we study demand and supply equilibrium? Okay, why is it important for us to study this topic? It is important for us to study this topic because we need to understand how the prices and quantities of goods and services are determined. Okay, we need to understand. It's important for us to study this for us to be able to understand how the prices and quantities of goods and services are determined in a market. How they are determined in a market. That is why we have to study what demand and supply. Okay, coupled with a lot of other reasons. Okay, number one, for example, is to understand the economy. Okay, if you want to know how the economy works, okay, it is good for you to understand what demand and supply equilibrium. Okay, likewise, apart from understanding how the economic works, okay, it's also to better make decisions. It makes us to make better decisions. Okay, so it tells you, it makes you to understand what to buy and when to buy it. It helps you to understand what to buy, and when to buy it. Okay, this is another reason why we study demand and supply equilibrium. It's also able to predict market behavior. Okay, it helps us to predict how the market will move. Okay, and then also help us to create a balance in the market. It helps us to create a balance in the market. Okay, these are some of the reasons why we study what demand and supply equilibrium. All right, so let us go proper into what equilibrium is. We will define equilibrium, so please take your notes and make sure you go over them over and over again, understand them, consume the information, then digest it. Okay, reason it to what? Apply to real life situation so that it can stick in your head. All right. So please make sure you like this video. Before you continue, like this video now. And of course, share to your WhatsApp group, share to your friends, share to your class group, all those who are preparing for JAMB. Okay, so junior one, share to them. Okay, let them all keep on learning and succeeding. Let us succeed together. Okay, this is O3 Schools Army, and we need to succeed together. All right. So now let us look at equilibrium price. Okay, what is equilibrium price? From mathematics, first of all, what is equilibrium? Equilibrium means something that is what? Equal. Okay, that is what equilibrium is. Something that is what? Equal. Okay, so for example, when we say A is equals to B, okay, this is equilibrium. All right, this is what? Equilibrium. A is equals to B. It means what? A is equals to B. Okay, it no mean pass that one. All right, A is equals to B. They are equal. It means that A and B are what? They are equal. Okay, so equilibrium price. All right, what is equilibrium price now? We say that equilibrium price is the price. Okay, it is that price that is corresponding. It is that price that is corresponding to the point where the quantity demanded is that price that is corresponding to the point, okay, where the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied. Okay, we say that what? Equilibrium price is the price corresponding. It corresponds to the point where quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. The point where quantity was demanded is equal to quantity was supplied. Okay, that is equilibrium price. Is the price corresponding to that point where quantity demanded is equal to what? Quantity was supplied. Okay, is the price that is corresponding to this point. All right, so let us make an example. Let's say, for example, now we have what? A table, okay, showing the price of a commodity, and then also showing what the quantity supplied and the quantity what demanded. Okay, let's say we have price, okay, in naira. All right, price in naira. They will have quantity demanded. Let's say it's in units. Okay, they will have quantity supplied. Let's say also it's in what? In units. Okay, so now when price, for example, was 1 naira, for example, when price was 1 naira, let's say that the quantity demanded, okay, by buyers wanted to what? Get was 20 units, okay, and then the quantity that was supplied, okay, let's say it was what? 4 units, okay, so this is the price, okay, that's corresponding to this quantity demanded and the quantity that is supplied. But this is not our equilibrium price, because equilibrium price talk about the point. Okay, is the price at which what is the price that corresponds to the point where the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded are equal, they are the same. Okay, so for example, at price of 1 naira, quantity demanded was 20, quantity supply was what? Was 4. Okay, so now when price goes to 2 naira, okay, quantity demanded, let's say it shifted to 16, then quantity supplied is, well, let us say it is 8. Okay, then when price goes to 3 naira, quantity supplied goes to 12. Okay, quantity demanded goes to 12, quantity supplied goes to what? 12. Remember, this is an example, all right? Now, when price goes to 4 naira, quantity demanded goes to 8, quantity supplied goes to what? 16. All right, and when price was what? 5 naira, quantity supplied was what? Was 4. Okay, and quantity what? So quantity demanded was 4, and quantity supply was what? Was 20. Okay, so now this is an example. Okay, now at this point, now we can talk about what? Our equilibrium what price. From this table, if we look at it very well, we can know the points where what? The quantity supplied, we can know the price. Okay, equilibrium price is the price, okay, that correspond to the point where the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded, okay, are what? Are equal. Okay, we are going to draw this in the graph also so that I can easily what? Understand it. All right, so now the price, when price was 1 naira, 4 quantity was supplied, 20 units was what was demanded. When price was 2 naira, 16 units was demanded, 8 was supplied. When price was 3 naira, 12 units was what? Was demanded. How many were supplied? 12 were supplied. This means that what? At this point now we have our equilibrium price. Okay, the points, okay, is a price that corresponds to the point where the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied are equal. Okay, so our equilibrium price, Okay, equilibrium price is what now? Is 3 naira. Okay, because it corresponds to the point where the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied are the same. Okay, so therefore, this is what our equilibrium price. And we'll say that what equilibrium price is also called the market clearing price. Okay, another name for equilibrium price is market clearing price. And why do we call it the market clearing price? The reason why we call it the market clearing price is because it corresponds to the price. Okay, it's the price that corresponds to the point where the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied are equal. That means it corresponds to the point where there's no excess demand, neither is there excess supply. Okay, so everything is equal. Everything matches at that point. That's why we call it the market clearing price. Okay, it is the price that corresponds to the point where the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied are equal. Okay, so that is that for equilibrium price. I'm going to draw the table. Okay, should we draw it now? Okay, let us talk about all this. Then we'll come back. We'll draw the table using the same data. Now, what's equilibrium quantity now? We have talked about equilibrium price, and we'll say it is the price that corresponds to the point where the quantity demanded and quantity supply are equal, also called market clearing price. Why equilibrium quantity now? We're not talking about price again, but quantity, we say is that quantity that is corresponding to the point where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal. Okay, so the same definition, just at this time, instead of price, we are putting quantity. Okay, equilibrium quantity is that quantity that corresponds to the point where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal. Okay, I don't think we want us to beat around the bush for this one. Okay, so what is now the equilibrium quantity in this table now? Okay, from this data given, the equilibrium quantity will be 12. Okay, because that is the quantity that corresponds to the point where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal. Equilibrium quantity is 12. All right, 12 units. Now, this equilibrium price, another term that we need to take note of, disequilibrium. Okay, like now, for when price was 1 naira, there was disequilibrium because 20 units was demanded, but only 4 was supplied. There's disequilibrium. At price 2 naira, when price was 2 naira, 16 units was demanded, only 8 was supplied. There's no equilibrium. Disequilibrium means no equilibrium. See disequilibrium, equilibrium as what? No equilibrium. It means say equilibrium no dey, no dey. Okay, that's what disequilibrium means. That's why we say disequilibrium price is any other price where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are not equal. Okay, like price at 1 naira, quantity demanded, quantity supplied, they are not equal. At price 2 naira, quantity demanded and quantity supplied are not equal. At price 4 naira, quantity demanded and quantity supplied are not equal. At price 5 naira, quantity demanded 4, quantity supplied 20, they are not equal. Those are all equilibrium disequilibrium. Sorry, those are all disequilibrium prices. Okay, disequilibrium prices. That is 1 naira, at 2 naira, at 4 naira, and at 5 naira. These are the disequilibrium prices from this data that I just gave to you. I hope it's getting very, very clear. Please like the video, hit the like button right now, click on the share button, share, and come back to this slide. Go and share and come back. All right, don't say you forgot. Let's take this video to 1,000 shares. Okay, so now let us go. Disequilibrium quantity. Okay, we'll talk about disequilibrium price. Now, disequilibrium quantity, we say is any other quantity where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are not equal. Okay, where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are not equal. Okay, as you can see evidently for the table, there are so many instances where the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded are not equal. So those are disequilibrium quantity. All right. So now before we talk about excess supply and excess demand, from this table also we can easily see that. Okay, can easily see excess supply and excess demand from that table. All right, but before we do that, let us draw this data on the graph so that we can signify our points of equilibrium as well as equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Okay, so now let us go. So I'm going to have this. Okay, so here is your price axis. Yes, your quantity axis. Okay, so now let us for treat what the demand for the demand. Okay, all right. So when price was 1 naira, quantity demanded was 20. First of all, let us choose our scale. So if this is 0, this will be 1, this will be 2, 3, 4, and this will be 5. Okay, let's take this up a bit so that I have more space. All right, that'll be 5. Okay, so all right, this will be 5. This is surprise. Okay, do not forget always what show it. Then of course, now let us go to the quantity axis. Let us use 4. Okay, there's 8 to 12, 16, and 20. So when price was 1 naira for quantity demanded, let us plot the quantity demanded first. When price was 1 naira, quantity demanded was 20. Okay, so take this down. When price was 2 naira, quantity demanded was what? Was 16. Okay, so we'll take it. Okay, take it down. When price was, sorry, it's bent. I'm not using a ruler, so pardon me. When price was 3 naira, what was quantity demanded? 12. When price was 4 naira, quantity demanded was what? Was 4 naira, quantity demanded was 8. Okay, when price was 5 naira, quantity demanded was what? Was 4. We'll take it down. Okay, so this for our demand. Okay, so let us use another color of marker to plot for supply. If we plot our curve, we see that our curve goes like this. Okay, remember it slopes downward from left to right, Okay, so it's going to slope downward like this. Remember, I'm not using a ruler, so okay, it slopes downward from left to right. Okay, so now this is our demand. Now for our supply, when price was 1 naira, quantity supply was 4 units. Okay, this is when price was, I'm going to overlay it. No, it's supposed to be on this exactly. So I'm going to just draw like this. When price was 1 naira, quantity supplied was 4 naira. So it comes down. Abi? Now, when price was 2 naira, quantity supplied was 8 units. 2 naira, quantity supply was what? Was 8 units. Okay, so this is 2 naira. Okay, and then the quantity supply was what? Was 8 units. Okay, when price was 3 naira, quantity supply was 12 units. 3 naira, quantity supply was what? Was 12 units. Okay, then when price was what? Was 4 naira, quantity supplied was 16 units. 4 naira, quantity supplied was 16 units. Okay, now when price was what? Was 5 naira, quantity supply was 20 units. Okay, so I'm going to have what? Quantity supplied there. To be 20 units. Okay, so this is our graph that's showing what? Both the quantity supplied and the quantity that was what? Demanded in the market. Okay, so now where is our equilibrium point? Our equilibrium point, okay, or equilibrium price rather, is the price corresponding to the point where the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded are equal, and that's at 3 naira. Okay, so this is our equilibrium point. Here is our equilibrium point here. Okay, so this is what our equilibrium point. Okay, and then of course, this is our equilibrium price. Okay, 3 naira is our equilibrium price, because that's the price that corresponds to the point where the quantity supplied, okay, and the quantity demanded are equal. All right, so what's now the equilibrium quantity? Okay, equilibrium quantity will be what? Will be 12. This one now, remember our equilibrium quantity. All right, so that is that for that. Okay, I'll show you this graph now. You to better understand what we're talking about. Okay, so this is the point, our equilibrium point, and then this is what? Our equilibrium quantity. This is our equilibrium Our equilibrium price. All right, so now having known this, it now gets interesting. All right, so let's talk about the concept of excess supply and excess demand. Excess supply and excess demand. With that, I'm going to use another graph to explain that so that you understand fully well what the concept is about. Okay, but from this table, okay, we can see what excess supply and excess demand from this table. Okay, when price was 1 naira, quantity demanded was 20. What was the quantity that was supplied? 4. Okay, so that means that our people were demanding, okay, and the supply was all very, very, very low or small. Okay, so there was excess demand. What do you say excess demand is? Excess demand occurs or results when the quantity demanded is greater than quantity supply. This leads to excess demand. Okay, when the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied, we get what? Excess what? Demand. So when price was 1 naira here, when price was what? 1 naira. Okay, what is the excess demand here? Okay, that will be what now? 20 units minus 4 units. That will give us what now? 16 what? Units. Okay, when price of 1 naira, the excess demand there will be what? Will be what? Will be 20 minus 4, which is 16 what units. That means people would needed more 16 units, but only what 4 was supplied. Okay, people needed 20, but 4 was supplied. Excess demand is what? 16 units. Okay, also excess supply occurs when what? The quantity supplied is greater than what? Quantity was demanded. Okay, for example, in this situation, when price of 4 naira, look at it very well. To reason it before we talk about it. When price was equal to what? 4 naira, what happened? People demanded just 8 units. But how many were supplied? 16 units was what? Was supplied. Okay, I'm going to have what? So the excess supply here will be what now? 20, okay, 16 minus what? 8, which is what? 8 units. All right. So excess demand occurs when the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity was supplied of a particular product. Okay. Of a particular product, when quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied, it leads to excess demand. Of a particular product, when quantity supplied is the one that is greater than quantity demanded. Okay. Okay. It leads to what now? Excess what? Excess supply. Excess supply. I didn't write it down. Excess what? Supply. And of course, on the table, we can easily what? Calculate them. Okay, but I'm going to what? Explain the concept of what? This excess supply and excess what? Demand. Okay, using what? A graph. All right, using a graph of both what? Demand and supply. And then we are going to what? End this class with that. Answer questions and we'll go out of what? This class. Okay, so let's say we have 2 graphs. Okay, demand and in fact, I think the major question is how does the market determine the equilibrium price? Okay, how does the market determine the equilibrium price? The market does not know the equilibrium price. Okay, there's no way the market can know the equilibrium price. Okay, but the forces of supply and demand, they are the ones that balance out each other, and then it now leads us to what? To that equilibrium what price that we are looking for. So market does not just easily know, okay, what the equilibrium price will be. Okay, but when this market forces, that is what? The supply and the demand, once they balance each other out, we now arrive at what? At our equilibrium price. Let me show you an example. For example, now we have what? A graph like this. All right. Once we have a graph like this, then this is our supply. Okay. This is our supply what? Curve. Sorry, our demand. Demand slopes from what? From left to right. Then this is what? This is what? Demand. Okay. Then this is what? Now supply. Okay. Supply slopes from what? From right to slopes upward from right to left. Okay. So this is what? Our supply. Okay. So now this is our equilibrium price, Abi. This is our equilibrium price, EP, Abi. And then this is what? Our equilibrium what? Quantity, okay? Equilibrium quantity, QE. This is our price, and then this is what? Our quantity, okay? Axis, all right? Quantity. Now, let us continue. Having seen this now, this is our equilibrium price, okay? We have gotten our equilibrium position, okay? This is our supply curve. This is what? Our demand curve. We have gotten our equilibrium point, all right? Now, if the price of what? Of this particular product we are considering now, if it increases, for example, it goes here, okay? Let's say it goes to what? EH, all right? Okay, let us say this one was what? E1, okay, or E3 self, E3, then it now increases to what? To E4, all right? What do you think will happen? Okay, what will be think will be the effect of this increase in price? Okay, what do you think will be the increase in this what? The effect of what? Of this increase in price. Now let us settle down to analyze what happens. All right. So now when price goes here, all right, you see that what? If you trace this graph, okay, if you trace it to hit the demand curve, you see that what? Lesser quantity than the equilibrium quantity will be demanded. Okay, do you notice? All right, because what? The price has increased. Normally, the law of demand, when price goes up, is demand supposed to go up? No. All right, from the law of demand, okay, as price is going up, quantity what demanded what will reduce. Okay, so this will now be our quantity what demanded. So quantity demanded will reduce because what? Buyers are not willing to buy at that what high price. Isn't it? Very correct. Now, If we trace it to the supply curve, what happens? You see, it will hit here. So if it hits with this supply curve, what happens if you take it down? What happens? What did you notice here? You see that quantity supply. Does it increase more than the equilibrium quantity or decrease? It increases more than the equilibrium quantity, which what goes with the with the law of supply. That at higher prices, suppliers are smiling. They want to supply more because they sense that it's a good price to sell. So they'll supply more. But demand will not increase. Okay, demand will drop. Supply will increase, thereby leading to a situation of excess was supply from year to year. Okay, excess was supply, excess was supply. So supply is now very high, but demand is low. Hope you're understanding the graph. Okay, so at this point, okay, when the price was increased from the equilibrium price to a higher price, okay, demand reduced. Okay, it fell short than the equilibrium price, than the equilibrium quantity rather. All right. Now the equilibrium for supply, once the price hits supply, because the price has increased, suppliers are willing to supply more. They will supply more, okay, but who is going to buy them? Because the people that are supposed to buy them, they are not demanding it again because the price is very, very high. All right, so that means that these suppliers will only be able to sell as little as they can, okay, because not many people are willing to buy it. So that means they will have excess supply because many people are not buying. So what will now happen? How do they now arrive to this how did they reach this equilibrium price? So what happened? Because suppliers see that buyers are not buying, so what will happen is that they'll begin to drop their they will begin to drop their price. Okay, so they'll drop their price, and as they are dropping their price, okay, buyers will now be sensing that, let's say, this suppliers not they guess and say people know they buy their products. Okay, so let us start buying small. So maybe they'll not be buying in trickles. Okay, so because of this, suppliers will see this have excess supply. For that reason, they'll keep dropping the price until it hits this equilibrium position. Okay, once it hits this equilibrium position, buyers, okay, will not be willing to buy more of the commodity. Okay, it's as simple as ABC. So that is what happens. All right. So suppliers, in summary, suppliers need to adjust their prices, okay, until they hit the equilibrium price, so that buyers can buy. That is how the equilibrium price reaches. It's not as if they don't just drop the price to one price that they know it will be the equilibrium price. No, they begin to drop their prices. They begin to lower their prices small. All right. So as they will lower their prices, okay, as people are buying, okay, it will send signal to them that okay, we are doing well. Okay, let us drop it a little bit further so that they can be able to clear their excess supply. All right. So that is that for that. When the price increases above, when the price increases above the equilibrium price, this is what happens. It creates excess supply, or the one we call surplus. We call it surplus. Okay, so that is excess supply. All right, when prices increase above the equilibrium price, okay, it leads to now? Excess supply. Now let's talk about excess demand. Now let's draw the same graph, another graph. Okay, this is your demand. Okay, then this is your supply. All right, so in this situation, this is our equilibrium position. Okay, this is our equilibrium price. Equilibrium price, let's say E2. All right, so now what about if the price is lowered than the equilibrium price? Remember, this will be our equilibrium quantity. If the price is lower than the equilibrium price, okay, let's say it now comes here, okay, this is E3. Let's say yes, E3. Now comes to E2. Okay, so now if it comes here, right? If we trace this this price to this is our supply curve. Remember, this supply. This is demand. Demand is like this. Okay, all right. Demand and supply. Okay, this is our demand. It slopes from left to right. This is our supply curve. Okay, so now the price, as it hits the demand curve, you see that the quantity supplied. Remember this supply curve. So this is now our QS. The quantity supply is now very, very, very small. Okay, which corresponds with the law of supply. That at lower prices, suppliers are not willing to supply much of the commodity. Okay, so for this reason now, if you now draw this same price to go and hit the demand, okay, you see that quantity demanded will increase. Okay, so it will create a situation of what? Of shortage. Okay, shortage. There's shortage here because suppliers are not supplying more, but the demand is very, very high. Okay, so this is now what? Excess what? Demand. Okay, this is what? Excess what? Demand. All right, this is excess demand. Okay, so when the price is lowered below the equilibrium price, okay, it creates a situation of what? Of excess what? Demand, or what? Or shortage of what? Of supply. Okay, so but when prices increase above equilibrium position, above equilibrium price, it leads to what? Excess supply, or what? Surplus. Okay, but when price is lowered below the what? Lowered below the equilibrium price, it creates a situation of what? Of excess demand, or shortage, Okay, so now there's what? There's excess demand, but the supply is not what? High. So what will now happen? We need to what? Get our equilibrium what? Price. So what will suppliers do? So suppliers will now begin to what? They will begin to increase their prices. Okay, so as they increase it, you see that what? That buyers, okay, buyers will what? Will be buying less from year to year now. Okay, they increase it to this point, buyers will now be buying less. Okay, you see that way to reduce this now where our QD is now. Our quantity demanded will come here. Okay, so if they increase it again a little bit, okay, you see that what? Buyers is what? We see what? We still buy more lesser than that. Okay, so that's how they'll keep increasing it. They'll keep adjusting their prices until what? It reaches what? This equilibrium what? Price. Okay, and then we now have our equilibrium what? Quantity. So I hope it's very, very understandable. Okay, so I do not want to recap it so that it doesn't look like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but understand that when prices increase above the equilibrium price, okay, it leads to a situation of what? Surplus, or excess what? Supply. Okay, where buyers are not willing to buy. Okay, but supply is what is much. So suppliers need to adjust their price. They need to keep adjusting it gradually. They don't drop it just once. They keep adjusting it gradually until it gets to what? This equilibrium what? Position. All right. Then also, if price is lowered, or it is what is decreased below the equilibrium price, okay, it leads to a situation of what? Excess demand or shortage. So suppliers begin to increase their prices. They begin to increase their prices. They begin to what? Adjust it what? Small. They increase it to a point where what? Now what? Hits what? This equilibrium, where what? The quantity what? Supplied and quantity demanded what? Will just match. All right. And then what? We now have our equilibrium price. Then we have what? Our equilibrium what? Quantity. So it's as simple as A, B, C. All right. So understand this very well, because questions will be asked from this. Okay, so you need to understand the graph very well so that you will be able to use to interpret questions. That's why you need to understand JAMB past questions very well. That's why you need the O3 School JAMB CBT Practice app. Get the app, activate it now. Start. You do not have the time to play. Let us see some questions from the app. This is 2000. Okay, that's why we say also that that excess supply correspond to the gap above what? The equilibrium what? Price. Okay, excess supply correspond to the what? To the gap above the what? The equilibrium what? Price. Okay, to the gap G-A-P. Excess supply, it corresponds to the gap above the equilibrium what? Price. Okay, while excess demand corresponds to the gap, okay, below the what? The equilibrium what? Price. So excess demand is below the equilibrium price, excess supply is above the equilibrium what? Price. Okay, so take note of that. 2011 number 10 says, if demand increases without a change in supply, if demand increases, that is what this situation now. Demand is very, very high, but supply, okay, suppliers are not supplying. Okay, so they say equilibrium price and quantity will what? What will happen? Since you see why you need to understand it very well. Now, demand is high, suppliers are not supplying. So what will happen? Suppliers will start increasing their prices. Okay, the price will need to rise. Okay, so that suppliers can see supply, and then people who are demanding, or buyers, can now get the product available to them. Okay, so that is why correct answer there would be option D. A says remain unchanged. No, it will not remain unchanged. B, something must happen. Okay, something must shift. Okay, so B say shift inward. No. C say fall. No. D say rise. So you see that If demand increases without a change in supply, okay, equilibrium price and quantity will what? Will rise. Okay, equilibrium price and quantity will rise. That is what, right? A rise, what will happen? Okay, so price will begin to what? To go up until we hit what? That equilibrium position. Now, let us see another question. 1991, number 10, it says, a market is in disequilibrium if A says the quantity purchased is greater than quantity sold. Okay, that is very wrong. A market is in disequilibrium. A says the quantity purchased is greater than quantity sold. B says the quantity sold differs from the quantity purchased. C says at lower price, a large quantity is sold. D says the quantity demand differs from the quantity supply, which is what disequilibrium is. Okay, quantity demanded and quantity supply, they are not equal. That is what disequilibrium is. So option D is very correct. All right, so let us see one more question. 2024, number 8, it says, at the equilibrium price, they say demand is greater than supply. Okay, B say demand equates supply. C say demand is less than supply. D say price is equal to demand only. No, demand equates supply. Demand is equal to what? Supply at the equilibrium what price. All right, so please, there are so many other questions from this application. Ensure that you download the O3 School JAMB Stability Practice app and start practicing your way to success immediately. All right, so please, do not wait for no man. Time does not wait for you at all. You need to what? Cover your syllabus and you need to keep studying. Okay, my name remains Master T. I'll see you in the next class where we'll continue talking about what? Demand and supply equilibrium. Thank you for watching.